So if you hold just 17 XRP, will you become a millionaire? I've seen a lot of crazy XRP price predictions, but this one takes the cake. And in this video, I'm going to be giving you guys a realistic XRP price prediction. I'm going to be talking about the macro market cycle, comparing XRP to Bitcoin. Also, we're talking about Wyckoff accumulation. We're talking about Elliott waves. We're talking about where we are in the macro market cycle, what to look for over the next few months and next few years. And also, Forbes is saying that XRP is headed towards $59,472. Now, that's a very crazy price prediction. I'm going to talk about what it would take in order for that to happen in terms of market cap, circulating supply, everything that you need to know. So comment 777 if you're feeling blessed. Comment 777 if you're feeling bullish. And if you're going to become the first millionaire in your family tree, as always, you know what to do. Confirm it by giving this video a like. Drop in a 777 in the chat. Let's run it. All right, bull runners, welcome back to the channel. So XRP is sitting at 50 cents right now with a $26.8 billion market cap. So what would it take for XRP to go to, $50,000, $60,000, let alone just to get back to the all-time high with the current circulating supply? Because Ripple releases, roughly $1 billion from escrow of XRP every single month. And so over the next few years, the circulating supply is going to drastically increase. And as more tokens go into circulation, if the demand doesn't change, the price struggles to see a move to the upside. But the demand is increasing. That's obvious with banks, massive partnerships, and what I talked about in yesterday's video. So we're going to discuss it because Microsoft's Bing chatbot confirmed that Forbes published an article with the title, "The New Bitcoin is XRP," and it's headed to $59,472. However, Bing claimed that Forbes swiftly removed it after publication, most likely because they realized it was complete nonsense. And so, anything's possible, but this is a stretch here. This is a reach. With XRP sitting at 50 cents right now, what would it take in order for that to happen? How much in market cap? I want to give you guys the formula to be able to identify this. And then also I'm going to talk about the macro market cycle so you can know what's most likely to happen next for XRP, because we are looking bullish over the next few years. And I'll explain why based on Elliott waves, Wyckoff accumulation, the liquidity, the gross debt, all of that good stuff. And so as you guys can see right here, as this chart plays out, for XRP, you're going to see where we are in the Elliott waves over the next few minutes. But first, let's talk about market cap divided by circulating supply to get the price. There's different ways to, determine the market cap. You could take the price, multiply it by the circulating supply, and then you get the market cap, but we're going to reverse engineer this. And so right now, the current market cap of XRP is roughly 26 billion with in circulation, there's 53 billion in circulation. So when we take $26 billion in market cap, divide that by 53 billion, that's how we get the current price of roughly 49, or for the sake of example purposes, we're just going to even this out. And then, the variable is, a penny or two right here. So when we go to $100 billion market cap, if you were to compare that to other projects that are $100 billion market cap, the only other projects that are over 100 billion are Ethereum and Bitcoin. Tether is 83 billion, BNB is 32 billion, and then XRP. So XRP is closer to USDC and BNB than it is to Ethereum. You see Ethereum has 190 billion versus 26. XRP has a long way to go before it can even consider passing Bitcoin. It first has to pass Ethereum in market cap. And so when we go right here and we see that price, it would put XRP at $1.88 at the current circulating supply. So we're going to look at the current circulating supply, and we're also going to look at the max amount that could be in circulation ever, which would be 100 billion, to give you guys a realistic price prediction based on what it would take to get to these insane levels that you see in these videos. And so a $1 trillion market cap, which is currently double Bitcoin's market cap with a 53 billion circulating supply, would put XRP's price at $18.87. A $10 trillion market cap, which is 10x the entire industry right now, at a 53 billion circulating supply, would be $188. Now that's only if there was no more XRP released from escrow from Ripple and the circulating supply stayed the same while the market cap grew, which is an unlikely scenario. This would not happen because the circulating supply would increase as the market cap increases every single month. And so this 53 billion would go to 54 billion next month, then 55, then 56, then 60. Eventually it'll get to the point where we'll get closer to 100% out there in circulation. You know, comparing that to Bitcoin, you see Bitcoin has a 21 million max supply and the circulating supply of Bitcoin is 19.4. So if you were to take 19.4 and divide that by 21, that will give you 92.38%, meaning that 92.38% of Bitcoin's max supply is in circulation. Now compare that to XRP, we would take 53.25 and divide that by 100, which would give us 53.25% of XRP's max supply is in circulation. So as more XRP goes into circulation, that does suppress the price if the market cap doesn't increase with it. So when we see a $10 trillion market cap with 100 billion in circulation, that would put XRP at $100. If we see a $50 trillion market cap at 100 billion, that'd be $500. 100 trillion market cap, that would need to take over basically half, if not more than half of the derivatives market, and then global liquidity for banks, and then 100 billion would put XRP at $1,000. 1 quadrillion is what it would take at 100 billion in circulation to put XRP at a $10,000 price point. Now, in order for the Forbes article that got deleted, it's no wonder why it got deleted because it's not realistic. It would take $6 quadrillion market cap. Now, you probably never heard of that word before. It comes after trillion. We only hear about trillions of dollars in debt, with the U.S. economy being $33 trillion in debt. Take 6 quadrillion at 100 billion, that would put it at $60,000. And if we were to measure money in the markets back in 2022, with global real estate about 326 trillion, global private wealth 463, derivatives market 12 trillion, the derivatives notional 600 trillion, we're not even cracking 1 quadrillion, let alone 6 quadrillion in order to get to $60,000. So this is complete and utter nonsense. Now, where is the realistic amount that we need to look for XRP? I mean, if we're comparing XRP to Bitcoin to see where the price could go, this shows how XRP performs in comparison to Bitcoin compared back to the past. 2017, XRP drastically outperformed Bitcoin. We're sitting in the symmetrical triangle right now. And if we were to look, there's quite a few other market theories that aim to explain the cyclical nature of these markets, whether it be crypto, stocks, precious metals, the US dollar, whatever you're looking at, equities, commodities, anything. Wyckoff method, which I'm going to explain, the Elliott principle, you have the Gahn's law of vibration, Fibonacci time cycles, Ray Dalio's economic cycles, the presidential cycle, among many others. And so let's talk about the Wyckoff method, because Richard Wyckoff claimed that no matter the length of a market cycle, there are 4 distinct phases. Phase number 1 is accumulation phase. The market moves sideways as smart money is buying and retail investors are selling. That's what we're in right now, is an accumulation phase. Then the markup phase, the market goes up significantly. We are about to go into the markup phase, and I'll explain why. Now, I could be wrong. Again, not financial advice. Don't buy, don't sell anything. Watch for educational purposes only. But I'm just going to give you data, facts, show you the charts, and then it's up to you to do your own research and make up your own mind, because you're a fully grown, educated crypto degenerate here. All right. Then we got distribution phase. The market moves sideways as retail investors are buying and smart money is selling. Then the downtrend, the market goes down significantly as we complete the ABC corrective wave on the other side. And then if we want to look at this right here, we can see the accumulation. So in accumulation schematics, there are some key points of the accumulation phase according to Wyckoff. Note that the volume should increase on rallies and diminish during pullbacks. This is one of the Wyckoff buying tests for accumulation. And so you can see phase A, phase B, phase C, phase D, and phase E. So how do we know where we are in terms of Bitcoin? Because we need to look at Bitcoin in order to understand what's going to happen to XRP, because Bitcoin needs liquidity for XRP to have liquidity. Now, that's until proven otherwise. Once they flip the switch, or if they flip the switch to leverage XRP, for cross-border payments, and all these banks make an announcement. But until then, we have to base it on what's been happening up until this point, and that's Bitcoin leads the market. So Wyckoff accumulation until we get to the breakout and markup. So as you can see right here, and compared to where we are right now on the chart, you see the breakout phase that took place for Bitcoin. This happened all the way back in March right here, when we broke above this resistance right here, and then we broke above it. Now we came back down to retest it for the throwback number 1 right here, and then we bounced again to go even higher, and then we are at throwback number 2 right here. And so I'm not talking about your retro throwback NBA or NFL jerseys here. I'm talking about the throwback to back up the truck all the way to the bank. And so at number 2, that's where we are at. Now, if we were to break to the downside, and if we were to break this support, which was resistance, well then, anything's in the books. We could go all the way back down to the low. So we need to hold this support right here, and we need to see a bounce off of this support above the current high of 2023 to see a reaccumulation, and then phase E taking us into the markup phase, where Bitcoin would bounce off of the support, make new highs, and then retest roughly $35,000 to $48,000, where the A and the B corrective waves were back in April of 2022. So could we be on the verge of another massive markup in a bull run if we hold the support and we see a spring to the upside? If we're looking at the RSI right here on the weekly candles in terms of Bitcoin's Brave New Coin liquid index for Bitcoin on the weekly, we can look at periods of oversold and overbought conditions based on Bitcoin's 4-year market cycle theory and looking at the bottom versus the top. Now I've marked this up for you, and I know it can look complicated right here, so I'm gonna talk about what we're looking at here. The first thing is we're looking at the relative strength index to find the periods of oversold conditions right here. So if we go all the way back to 2011, you can see that anything close to 30 or below 30 is in drastic oversold conditions, and historically that has proven to be a good point to back up the truck and buy more. Now I'm not telling you what to do, that just historically means that's a good point, right? So we see Bitcoin at $2.17. If you would have bought Bitcoin at $2.17 right down here, and you would have just based it off the RSI alone and oversold conditions, and you would have held until we reached even wave number 3 in the Elliott wave, you would have been up 10,000%. You would have been up 100x on Bitcoin. If you would have held to wave 5, you'd have been up over 46,000% when Bitcoin reached $1,000 by November of 2013. And so if we were to measure from oversold to oversold to oversold to oversold, the first period from November of 2011 until the 12th of January of 2015 measured 1,155 days. Now, if we were to measure from that period right there, 12th of January 2015, to the next oversold condition near 30 right here, that would measure 1,421 days. Now, if we were to take that oversold condition and measure to the previous oversold condition, which was November of 2022, right here, actually it was June of 2022, the actual low in terms of the price chart was in November of 2022. So this is, I'm going to get into where the potential low could be based on these two scenarios right here, because there's a few variables to look at based on the previous high of 2021 on how the actual high was not the high, that was the dead cat bounce, and how the actual low was not the low based on the RSI oversold conditions. And so what does that mean? Well, let me explain it. So when we look right here and we were to average that out, we take this period right here from the oversold low to the oversold low, this period right here, and we average that out, that'd be an average of 1,290 days to where we would see the next oversold low on the RSI right here, which would give us a rough estimate of where the low would take place for Bitcoin and then the rest of the market as well too, for the next market bottom, which would come in between, roughly 2026, January of 2026 to June of 2026. And the variable here is based on what we're looking at right here from, June of 2022 until November of 2022. Because as you can see on the RSI, we were in oversold conditions right here. We were lower on the RSI, but on the price chart, we did not see the actual low on the price chart. And so when we go all the way down for wave number C to the actual low, we were bouncing on the RSI. We were trading to the upside that you can see right here. Conversely, in the past, we didn't see that happen. We actually saw the RSI match where the low was on the price chart. So you can see back here in December of 2018, we were at the actual price low and we were at the actual oversold conditions on the RSI. We go all the way back to 2015, the 12th of January of 2015. And as you can see right here, Bitcoin was at the low on the price chart as well too. And then we go all the way back to November of 2011. You could see that we were at the lowest possible point, and then we were at the lowest possible price as well too. So 3 of the bear market cycles have proven that the RSI an oversold condition have matched up to the actual low on the price chart. Whereas this past bear market cycle didn't show that. It was a period where we saw a low on the RSI, but then we saw the price go even lower while the RSI was rebounding to the upside. Also, we only saw the markets drop, like 74% compared to the past bear market cycle where we saw, Bitcoin drop 84%. And then the previous market cycle, we saw Bitcoin drop, 84, 86% as well too. And so that's why people were claiming for XRP to go down between 10 and 15K. But for XRP to do that now, anything's possible, but for it to do it now, we're too far into this accumulation phase for something like that to happen. The only reason why Bitcoin would go down drastically and see a sell-off would be some type of black swan event. And don't get me wrong, I mean, that's not far off. We saw what happened with COVID, another pandemic, something happening. I talked about this in previous videos, EMP attack, potential World War III, some sort of economic catastrophe that could take place. But the likelihood of that happening, just basing that on a theory or you thinking that something would happen, you can't really base it all off that. You just have to be ready for anything. And so if we were to look at the Elliott waves next, first, before we do that, let's talk about from that oversold and simultaneous low in the price, we're about 462 days, 462 days from the low of June of 2022. Now, to be 462 days from the actual low would be February of 2024. If we go back to the past at where we were and what happened after, that 462-day period, we went on a massive bull run after the accumulation phase. We go back to April of 2016, massive bull run after the 462-day accumulation phase. Massive bull run back in 2013 after the accumulation phase. And so during the accumulation phase, we were forming wave number one on the Elliott waves. Right here, from 2015 to 2016, we were forming wave number one. From 2018 to 2020, we were forming wave number one. Currently, what we are doing right now is we are forming wave number one. And so that brings me to the Elliott waves on how they work. Wave number one, this begins the new uptrend. And before wave one, the market is bearish. So wave one marks the beginning of a new bullish market trend. Just before wave one is revealed itself, usually the market has been highly bearish. And as you guys can see, Bitcoin has been highly bearish since November of 2021 all the way until November of 2022, which matches, roughly a year from top to bottom. And so because, 2023 has been bullish, right now we are in wave number one. So you're still early here. If you think it's too late to buy Bitcoin and it's going to go down further, you might actually miss out on the next impulsive wave, which would be wave number three. Because in the set of 5 waves, there are 3 impulsive waves, 2 corrective waves. And so wave number 2 begins at the peak of wave 1 and describes a market pullback after the bullish wave 1. So investors are hoping that the wave 3 will occur after wave 2. Now, depending on if wave 2 is in right now, we see a bounce off, right? Or we go a little bit lower down to $20,000. If we drop even lower than that, then we would have to reevaluate this. But if we hold right here in wave number 2, wave number 3 is usually the most impulsive wave in the Elliott wave theory. So because a lot of people believe we have completed wave 1, we're in wave 2 right now, we're about to go into wave 3, it being the longest and the strongest, the most impulsive wave, that's why a lot of investors are getting bullish right now, especially with BlackRock, with Fidelity, with all these companies talking about spot Bitcoin ETFs. And then after wave number 3 comes in, wave 4 is the second market pullback. The first pullback was wave 2. Most of the investors hold their position as they're waiting for wave 5 to occur, which is the final wave. And then wave 5 is usually very, very strong. It's not nearly as strong as wave 3. The end of wave 5 marks the end of the whole uptrend of the entire 5-wave Elliott waves. And wave 5 is ending almost all of the times with a significant increase of the market volume. Usually at the peak of wave 5, record volumes are identified. Another signal of the end of wave 5 is that the market makes a high intraday fluctuation and closes at its lowest point. Now, another interesting thing to note as well too, if we look at the last market cycle right here, if we were to start wave number 1 from the oversold condition on the RSI and also the price low of Bitcoin back in December of 2018, well, that 2019 rally was wave number 1. Corrective wave number 2 would be COVID. This is where a lot of people are debating about this. Wave number 3 wasn't necessarily the high of 2021. Wave number 3 came in before that in December, of 2020, and we're in January right here. And then the ABC came in after the first top. And the reason why is because when you look at search volume on Google Trends, or you look at the RSI right here, you guys can see that the peak on the RSI right here happened actually at wave number 3, which was one of the most impulsive waves. And then wave number 5 right here, we were on the downtrend on the RSI. And then by the time we saw the ABC corrective wave, we saw the same thing on the RSI happen. The A wave, the B wave, and the C wave all the way to the bottom. So by the time we hit the B wave right here, which was the actual all-time high for Bitcoin ever so far, we were in a downtrend on the RSI. Search volume was going down. People were getting out of the markets. People were losing interest in Bitcoin. So that's why it makes more sense that the actual top of the market was back in April of 2021, and the B wave, the corrective wave, was a dead cat bounce that was higher than wave number 5. Now, the dead cat bounce of the B wave can actually be higher than wave number 5, and then the C corrective wave all the way to the bottom of November of 2022. Even though the RSI, was lower in June of 2022, then we saw that final, capitulation, that final bottom take place. And now that we're in the accumulation phase right now, we are between wave 1, wave 2, about to form wave number 3. So how does this relate to XRP? Because if we look at Bitcoin right here, when we saw the RSI in the most oversold conditions in June of 2022, that's actually when XRP formed its low in the C corrective wave that you can see at about 28 cents right here. And so interestingly enough, XRP bottomed before Bitcoin. And then Bitcoin bottomed after XRP, while XRP was in the uptrend forming wave number 1. So because we're in, between wave number 1 and corrective wave number 2 for Bitcoin right now, hey, if we push higher and then we see a corrective wave number 2, coming up toward the end of this year, that's quite possible. But based on where we're at right now, wave number 1 up to 31, nearly 32K, wave number 2 is being formed right now, and then wave number 3 would be the most impulsive wave. And so for XRP, wave number 1 would be post lawsuit. Wave number 2 is being formed right now with the sell-off after this lawsuit. Why would there be a sell-off with the good news about XRP, with the good news about Ripple? Well, this is corrective wave number 2. And so when we see the next bounce for XRP, if we don't go lower, if we go any lower, to 31, 30 cents, anything's possible. But if we hold the 50 cent range and then we bounce off of here, I would expect wave number 3 to drastically bring XRP, upwards of $1, $2, or $3 to be massively impulsive. Just like Bitcoin, I would expect, a run to 40K to 50K before we see another correction for Bitcoin. And so when we go back to the last Elliott waves for the bull run cycle, comparing Bitcoin to XRP, well, XRP actually bottomed after Bitcoin. Bitcoin's bottom came in 2018, whereas XRP's bottom came in during COVID. Bitcoin had a dip, but it didn't quite go down to the previous low. And then we started Elliott wave 1 for XRP. Corrective wave number 2 is 21 cents. Elliott wave 3 was actually the high, because this situation right here with the lawsuit, invalidated corrective wave number 4, because corrective wave number 4 can't be below wave number 1. And because we saw, this correction right here for XRP downward of 20 cents being below 32 cents, that invalidated. So actually wave number 3 for XRP was all the way up here at almost $2. Corrective wave number 4 was when Bitcoin was forming the ABC corrective wave. And so XRP's final wave 5 was actually less impulsive than XRP's wave number 3, and then the ABC corrective wave coming into the bottom of XRP. And so right now, we're in the process of wave number 1, wave number 2. Now, the real key here to understand is because the last 2 bull market cycles, XRP's Elliott wave 1 started after Bitcoin had already been forming Elliott wave 1, while XRP was still in a bear market. We go all the way back to 2016 during this bull market cycle. Bitcoin on the bottom here was already forming Elliott wave 1, while XRP was seeing a sell-off to the downside. Bitcoin was seeing bullish momentum to the upside. Once Bitcoin reached between wave number 2 and number 3, XRP had its final dip back in February of 2017, while Bitcoin was on a bull run. Then XRP exploded for wave number 1 and corrective wave number 2, and then wave number 3 for XRP, was simultaneous with liquidity flowing into Bitcoin at the same time. Corrective wave number 4 for Bitcoin XRP happened at the same time, but then wave number 5 for Bitcoin came in before XRP peaked out, in January of 2018 while Bitcoin was on the downtrend. So XRP peaked out after Bitcoin. 2021, wave number 3 was higher than wave number 5. XRP peaked out before Bitcoin. Bitcoin peaked out on wave B in November of 2021 when XRP was already in a downtrend. So for 2021, XRP saw its high before Bitcoin, and then in 2018, XRP saw its high after Bitcoin. Now, obviously, the 2021 market cycle had a lot of variables with the lawsuit and all that stuff that was like a boot on XRP, so that one was different. But for this market cycle, will we see XRP peak before Bitcoin, or will we see it peak after Bitcoin? Either way, regardless of whether we hold these levels right now for Bitcoin, whether we hold 50 cents for XRP, or if we trade lower, down to 40 cents or 30 cents, once wave number 3 starts going, the massive amounts of liquidity that's going to be flowing into this market is going to be insane. And so when we talk about the price predictions and price targets that you see for, XRP, 10 trillion is pretty crazy. We're talking like by 2030, but by 2025, over the next couple years, what's realistic? Well, anywhere between 100 billion and 1 trillion is realistic. Anything beyond that would have to come at the derivatives market, massive flip switching that people are talking about the money that's going to be used for global banking transfers to be used with XRP through their, XRapid product instead of Nostro and Vostro accounts. But I personally believe between 100 billion and $1 trillion for this market cycle for XRP. So anywhere between, $1.88 and $18.87, I think is possible. Now, if we're talking about $10 trillion, that's a stretch right now, because you look at the whole market cap sitting at 1 trillion. That would need to be a 10x for the whole market, and then XRP would have all of that, but Bitcoin would need to be much, much, much higher. So for XRP to have 10 trillion, currently when we take XRP's market cap of, let's say 27 billion, and we divide that by Bitcoin's 513 billion, XRP currently holds only 5.26% of Bitcoin's market cap. And so if XRP was at $10 trillion, Bitcoin would need to be over $100 trillion at the current market capitalization percentage that XRP holds of the market right now. Otherwise, XRP would have to outperform Bitcoin, which I think is going to happen. So I think XRP holding only 5% of Bitcoin's total market cap, I think that's going to change. I think that XRP will grow upwards of 10, 15, even 20% of Bitcoin's total market cap. And I think XRP will pass BNB. I think it'll pass Tether at some points, and I think it'll rival Ethereum. And then eventually it could overtake Bitcoin if it really is going to be used for global liquidity for the banks, for the derivatives market, for small, medium-sized enterprises, large enterprises, institutional investors, the banks, the IMF. You talk about Fed now, you talk about all these central banks, the BRICS nations. If we start to see, these products really start to get capitalized and get that market share after BlackRock comes in, after the ETFs get approved, then wave number 3 could be a lot higher than people expect. And so realistic price prediction for XRP, anywhere between $2 to $20. I'm expecting $10 to $30 for XRP. Anything beyond that, pipe dream, but could happen. I think it'd be cool. I think it'd be awesome. We wake up one day and all of a sudden, massive green candle, L-shaped candle, and the XRP is a stable coin at $1,000 or $5,000 or $25,000 to facilitate the liquidity, so there's no price fluctuations, and they have to do massive buybacks or something like that. That would be insane. But that's a hope, that's a wish, that's a dream. We like to base it on fact, based on what's happened in the past, and preparing for the future. So as always, what we're doing to prepare is we're backing up our truck all the way to the bank, grabbing the bags, packing them and stacking them, leaving no bags left behind, because the spending power of the dollar is going to continue to go down in value. That's a fact based on inflation. Blockchain technology, distributed ledger technology is going up in interest. That's the truth. And together we're all going camping on the beaches of the moon. So I will see you on the next video. If you want to learn our #1 way to earn passive income online without any crypto trading experience, go to bullrunners.com to join our community. It's free to join. All you have to do is put in your name, your best email address, your phone number, and that's if you want to receive constant updates every single day, because we give you the best so you can prepare for the worst that's yet to come in the economy. So as always, I will see you on the next video. I will see you on bullrunners.com. God bless. Stay bullish.